Hi, good evening, and welcome to tonight's AMA. I'm Ian Upton. I'm going to be discussing the overall platform launch update tonight. I'm going to take you on a journey from where we come from, where we are right now, and where we're going to be in the future regarding the platform launch. So as with every AMA, we're going to give everybody an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the presentation. But if you have any questions in between, feel free to shoot them into the AMA section of this presentation, and then I'll talk to them at the end. Before I start, I would like to just do a little sound check to see if everyone can hear me. So if someone can just post in the Q&A section. Oh, very clear. Fair enough. So good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Ian Upton. I'm the COO of Propchain. I've been with Propchain since the 25th of January last year, and started out as the Chief Data Officer. And then I got actually pretty interested in the entire operation. So I started looking at ways to improve, like how we do our business internally. And last November, I got after taking on this project management role, I also got promoted to the COO at Propchain, which has been really nice career path actually for me. Here's my LinkedIn. So if you feel like adding me, then you can add my LinkedIn, and yeah, I can also answer any questions that you may have on that channel, because that is my main channel of communication. Just a quick little bit about myself. As I said, Ian Upton. I'm actually English. I live in the Netherlands, lived here for like 20 years, and in Rotterdam. I went to TU Delft over here doing biochemical engineering, but my passion is IT. And IT projects. So I've been working in that field for the last, I think 10, 15 years. And I've done some interesting projects in the past. And the most exciting, which relates a little bit to this, is a Citrix project that I did, a migration project in a nuclear power station. And that also had a lot of dependencies in the end of the day, and a lot of, careful planning was required. So if I look at the complexity of the project, of what we're doing now, it reminds me of doing a project in a nuclear power station, actually. So from a personal perspective, my core motivation is basically just doing great projects, like interesting, innovative projects with cool people. So if I can check in every day, and I've got a bunch of people around me that are pro and I can learn from, that's what drives me, actually. So that's about that from my side. So yeah, feel free to follow me, or just to join me and start some discussions if you feel like, and ask questions and connect. I'm always open. So what am I going to be discussing today? Well, I'll start off with the main objectives for this project, and quickly give an overview of the phase launch strategy that we chose for this one and where we are, and give some key insights on what we've learned so far, and which will also give a better understanding on why and how we're moving forward. So, but bottom line is, I'm trying to keep a fine balance between customer experience, platform quality, and service delivery. And in order to do so, I thought the only way I can guarantee that is by gathering user reviews, from our customers, and also doing process audits to check our delivery and our platform quality, and doing service reviews to check our processes and the overall service that we're offering. So within that Venn diagram, we're aiming to hit the middle spot, which is going to be the Propchain application launch, and I'm definitely going to raise a glass when that is completed. Anyways, to give an idea of the main objectives and also the main challenges within this project, I'm just going to actually quote Robin. He dropped something in a Telegram channel last week that I actually spoke to me, and he said, like, we're combining the strictest regulations of traditional industry, which is like real estate securitization, with one of the newest and most unstable industries that currently exist, crypto. And I think that sentence in itself defines actually the complexity of this project, and also gives a bit of an idea of what we're dealing with here. I mean, we're also developing real estate. We're sorting out all of the regulation and the legal side of things and the financial side of things to do it all over the world, and also using using blockchain technology at its best, actually, to create a ledger and to create like a foundation of actually everything and every transaction that we're actually doing. So that's I think is a nice summary of the challenge and the main objective that Robin has given me to me over here. If I look into what that means for me and how I translate it into like the quality of the platform and the phases that I chose within this project, I stick to the 1-10-100 rule, which is that during the development phase, then you want to fix and prevent like problems that occur. But when you get into like the remediation phase, which is basically the testing and the quality assurance where we are now at the moment, and it costs actually 10 times as much time to fix those bugs than it would have done in the development phase. And the 1-10-100 rule states that failure during the launch and after launch will cost you about 100 times more than it would have been in prevention. So this is not like an exact science, but overall, when a mistake gets out into the wild, it's harder to fix it, and the larger the impact it will have when this occurs. So rather catch it now than later on. But actually, taking this 1-10-100 rule and translating it into the kind of project that we're doing now, I would rather say it's like a 1-10-1 million rule. And why is this so? Basically, all of the groundwork in the back end is related to building up secure smart contracts, which are extremely difficult down the line to rectify and to remedy those problems. So basically, any failure, like post-launch, would cause not like 10, but it would cause 1,000,000 times the amount of problems, because simply that the smart contracts, the whole idea of what we're doing is to be transparent and set contracts for the beginning. And all of the transactions that are being made of like buying and gathering rewards from real estate are going to be on a ledger. So, I mean, if there's any failures or problems down that line, and we're looking at a 10 to 1,000,000 kind of problem. So having that in mind and keeping that in mind, this is also the way that I planned out the phase launch strategy as a whole. So the phase launch strategy that I set up and proposed and we're executing at the moment is like built around service delivery, platform quality, and customer experience. And it allows us to like deploy the platform in controlled chunks, and so that our delivery teams and processes can be tested in a controlled environment. And at the end of each phase, we do a rigorous feedback and quality control test, like externally, internally, and from the test users or the people in that group or period in the launch to evaluate before we move on to the next phase with a go and a no-go moment. And prior to the go and a no-go moment, I'll write up a report and I'll present it to the management team of Propchain. And yeah, and based on that advice, there is a go or a no-go. So that's how we work internally, and how my weeks have been set up, and will be set up in the next coming period. Just to give you like a little bit of an overview of like where we are. It's a little bit small, but I think it's still visible. We started basically with a mission control phase, which we completed. And this was basically getting the service team, the tech development team, also the legal and compliance team and real estate that we're actually developing to put on the platform, and the financial systems in different countries, of course, in line so we can start up. And this was followed by some internal audits and some external audits. So external audits being the initial smart contracts that we were deploying, and that's also an ongoing thing. And well, I think Robin discussed in the last session the external smart contract audits here went extremely well. I mean, we got like a 99% coverage of all of the points necessary. It required a little bit of rework, but just a tiny bit actually, and that went pretty well. We could go on to the next phase, which was the actual testing of the platform. And so we launched the platform on various environments. We have a testnet environment, which is basically a sandbox, and we have a LiveNet environment, which is basically the final product which we're going to bring out there. And we decided to split this up into four tests. And the first test was basically testing out the login and the user authentication and creating an account. And the second test was going in the direction of looking at the look and feel of our product, and gathering user information by like screen tracking through the product, and giving specific tasks and taking a look at how long it takes to do this. The third test, we deployed our smart contracts and the system onto the testnet, which is basically the sandbox environment with connections to our service providers. And that was like the kind of the trial before going live. And the fourth test, the T4, is actually the deployment on the live environment with all of the service providers live. That actual transactions that are being made will be like live transactions. So with those four tests in mind, we thought this is the right way, the right scope of testing we can do before we can actually go live. To continuate that testing, so the live environment, we decided to choose a strategy to launch only our in a core group of people who've been backing us and who've invested in Prop, and that's around 700 to 800 people that are our backers and our investors. So we can get like real feedback from people who've been with us from the beginning, and but also in a live environment, so not a test environment, just a live environment where actual transactions can take place, and also at the same time go from our early life team, early response team, to the service delivery team and the development early life support team. And well, after that phase is complete, then you go towards our community first before going out there and blowing this out on all channels available. We thought, hey, we've got like a wait list now of around I think about 9,000 people at the moment, and going to launch that within that community and gather the feedback first before we go to the dropping the mobile app and dropping it into the App Store. So where we are now is we're like nearing the end of the testing phase. We've got I threw out like an advertisement to, or a question, actually, a call to action to see if people could help us test. We got around 95 responses, and we had a questionnaire with this, and we chose a broad variety of people, of 25 users out of this 95 people, who could like give us their give us their 2 cents about the questions we were asking them during this rigorous testing phase. And it's been extremely intensive over the last couple of weeks, or nearing to 2 months, this testing phase, and we've gathered an immense amount of feedback. So this was the idea, and this is like where we are now, and to to move forward. We started like with the, looking back, we started with mission control. And during that phase, we aligned all the internal development, and every team within Propchain itself had a massive checklist of the items to be done before giving the go to move forward, to actually to launch the platform for test users. And from service delivery, from tech, from legal, from real estate development, it's all a matter of timing, where all these different but large projects come together, and followed by some internal quality control and external audits. And we gave the go to move forward. I think Robin gave that back then, to move forward, and and so we did. And we move forward to the closed group launch. The idea was this, and the why actually was to check if this product was fit for use. And so we've had an internal test team of 10 of our users and an external group of 25. They've been taking part in this rigorous testing and evaluation cycle over the last couple of weeks. So if any one of you guys are listening from there, then I just really want to thank you for all of the inputs. I mean, it's really been immense. Just in the last phase alone, we had 250 feedback comments, which translated into around, I think, about 120, 130 tickets, and which has given us a lot of ammunition to improve for the initial launch, but also like a lot of ammunition for feature requests for the future. So we've been like actually simulating the platform launch from a process view, from a product view and a service view, and we've been asking for customer feedback on the way that we've been handling the questions that people have had, the complaints that people have had, the issues and bugs that people have had with the platform that have been testing it. So it's been quite a nice test overall across the whole board for our service organization, and for our organization actually as a whole. And our tech team has been working around the clock to fix all of these bugs and optimize the platform, the configuration, and process the audit feedback from, at the same time, from our external auditors, which basically every couple of weeks we're sending the finalized and adapted versions from the feedback we've been receiving from users. We've been adapting, of course, the code. So every time that happens, we've had to give our smart contracts back to auditing, and currently on the final audit. So that's going to be exciting next Tuesday when we receive that, and I'm looking forward to presenting the outcome of the final audit of that. And well, at the end of the day, when I finish off this project and hand it over to operations, which is going to be after the final phase, then I'm going to be handing over an fully audited environment. And before I give my final go, to go live, and my final advice to the management team, then I want this checklist to be completed. So looking at the tests and where we are right now, we started with like an internal testing, and then we went through a moderated testing in the beginning, like we're on the supervision of an internal test team. And as I said before, we were testing the account creation and authentication of users, like KYC products. And after that, we had a test that was more related to the UX and the UI and the overall look and feel of the product, and how fast people could actually find the functionality and the features needed to complete the tasks that we gave beforehand. And finally, stepping over to having the final product and putting it on our test environment, and testing two things in T3, which were the service organization, and testing also the smart contracts as a whole. Well, the next phase will be the final phase of actually deploying the smart contracts and everything onto the platform. And all of the previous tests that we've done before, we're just going to be actually doing again on the final product with the test users. Maybe even enlarge that group a little bit, but I'm thinking about we have a really nice team of people that have been working with us for the last couple of months, and I think from that we'll gather enough information to go live with our internal users. So just to show you how we've done this and how we're going to finalize this phase. We started with T1 and T2 testing, and the internal testing was simultaneous as T1 with the 10 internal user, 25 panel users. And after that, we launched T3, and that was I think it was 3 weeks back, or 2.5 weeks back, we launched a T3 phase. And after each test, we had external quality audits, internal quality control, and the user feedback, and we used that as a go or no go moment to proceed with the next phase within the testing. And upon a go, then we'd go to the T4, and if necessary, do a final check after T4 of the external, internal, and user feedback to see if everything matched up before going completely live. This is also when the support team as an organization also goes live and the SLA kicks in. T1 and T2 actually went like a charm. Everything went according to plan. I think we had 1 day delay or 2 days delay on the T2 testing, but all of the feedback that came out of it was handled within the right time. When we came to T3 testing, it was the actual testing of the smart contracts. So basically what we did was we set up a property for sale on the platform in the sandbox environment, and we let our users preloaded some money into the wallets, and asked our test users to buy some property, and to finalize it they would collect rent after a couple of days. Of course, we'd fast forward the time, and then they were able to collect their first rent. And having done that, we would have completed the T3, and at the same time tested our smart contracts. After that, maybe some final adjustments had to be made, and some external quality audits. But then we were actually ready to go for T4. While testing the T3, which happened on Friday and Saturday, we had some serious bugs in the software itself, and I think that I think 9 of our users experienced that they could there is like an interface between like our smart contracts and the software itself in the JavaScript. And a couple of our users, they found out, and they were also testing what the limits were of the product. Of course, they found out that if they added a negative value, for example, into the amount that they were investing, that it would like give serious errors in the backend. And I think during the testing phase up to T3, we were like really busy trying to get the smart contracts perfect and auditing that. And our shift of focus had gone from actually the products itself to the smart contracts. And I think the test users justly saw our weak point and saw that, hey, we can actually make some adjustments in the input fields that would give a negative or a wrong outcome within the smart contracts in the ledger on the JavaScript side of things. So that was and also like around 250 comments that we got from this testing phase, which resulted in around 63 issues, which I classified myself as around 10 prior one serious issues. This also raised during the testing phase of T3 that the prior one process, if something goes terribly wrong, because we're testing our service organization, it was all nice on paper, but this a prior one actually occurred because there's a massive error in the back end due to users adding negative values and overbuying on a platform. So it triggered this prior one process and had set out the entire prior ones process on paper. But when it came to following the process and to who should be called when, and because it was also on a Friday night or a Saturday morning, one of the two, and then people actually didn't know on the front end who to call. So on both sides, it triggered some, hey, we haven't actually really gone through this prior one process itself. What are we going to do and what are we going to communicate during such an action? So that's why at the end of all of this, I said, okay, to the test group, give me a week to figure out and take a look at all of these issues that we've been that have come in, and let me organize them and make a decision out of then to how to proceed forward. So and to the management team, I just gave the feedback. Internal quality control, I give a red light because of the prior one process is essential. The user feedback, I would like to have all of these issues handled or at least planned before moving on to the next phase. And from an external quality audits, and this is actually not to be specific, this is not the reason why I stopped this. That's why it's on orange. But instead of our external party, which is Hacken, who's looking at our smart contracts, they're doing the final audit on our platform, and this was supposed to be delivered by them last week, but they've delayed until the 13th of December. So before that, we can also not move on to the final launch of the platform T4. So given all of these factors, I had an AMA with the test team a couple of days ago, and also a couple of meetings with the management team and the development team to give a big no-go on to move forward onto T4. And we've actually decided, let's just start T3 again. And this T3 is basically a 2-week cyclus of starting the entire test again. So this I checked out with with all of our user testers if they will be willing to do this, and have had quite a lot of positive feedback from these guys the other day, saying, okay, let's do this again. We think this is a good idea, and internally also got enough backing to take that strategy. So before we move on to T4, on the 13th of December, our smart contracts are going to be coming back. So this is like in week 50. And the smart contract fixes, as you see, they were planned for like a couple of days ago. week 48 was when we were supposed to receive our smart contracts back. And then we were going to move over to T4 testing and then go do some hot fixes on the live environment. But if I look at the timeline as it's been, is like the T3 testing occurred end of week 47 on track. And the amount of rework was pretty big. So I just said to the guys, okay, listen, we're gonna actually do all the rework and start with the T3 testing again, keeping in mind that I would rather launch a product that is working perfectly than to launch a product with any bugs in it, especially if it has anything to do with the smart contracts. I mean, if there's like a small error or bug somewhere in a visual, or if something doesn't work correctly on a certain type of browser, you know, then I'm willing to go forward into the T4 testing. But as soon as actually money and transactions starting to go over the platform, this is something that I would have to definitely audit. All of the learning from this T3. We've got a really heavy internal audit on all of the input fields from users. And our focus has shifted from only smart contracts and quality, of course, of the platform to like all of the inputs of the Java inputs on the front end from the user, and all of the write systems, and also doing an internal security audit. So this has added a little bit more time onto our timeline to start with T4. But having said that, not too much time, because the 3 audits are coming back from Hacken next Tuesday, on Tuesday, and we're actually already here. I forgot to move this line over, I'm sorry about that, but we're already actually here. And on Tuesday, we're going to get our audits back. And instead of deploying the T3 smart contract audits, we're going to be deploying the T4 smart contract audit, the 40,000 lines of code that Hacken has been busy with in the past weeks. So this will give us an overall better insight in the final script with the final audits on the live environment. So all in all, I think we did pretty well. We kept up to the standard of and the time planning, but the immense amount of feedback that we got from T3 just needed a little bit of extra time. So if I look back over the last entire project, and I've been looking at how many hours our team has been busy and working over the last year, I proposed to Robin, actually, you know, why not just because everybody's been the entire team has been on full capacity, to get this thing launched and to get this out there. I proposed to Robin last week. I said, why not take week 52 and let's just look at what we need to do in the next 1.5 to 2 weeks, and why not give everybody a Christmas break and a holiday for 7 days, because the launch in itself wouldn't actually make sense to launch between Christmas and New Year's Eve. We might as well just launch it in January and not in the Christmas period, because the initial launch was on the 15th of December, and I had to replan T3 again. So, and I had feedback also from my internal quality team, from the development team, the cycle of launching the platform, putting it online, getting test users to test the environment in a couple of days, and then dumping a boatload of rework onto the software team. It was a bit too heavy for next to their normal tasks. So they requested, okay, before you actually go live next time, can you just plan the internal testing instead of on the same day? Can you just plan it please 4 days or 3 days at least beforehand, so we can pick up the main Slack. So with that in mind, I thought, okay, on Tuesday the audits are coming back. We've gone through about 80 to 85% of all of the 250 points that we've got back from the T3 testing, and the rework has been completed. There's some more complex points that we're actually going to be lifting to T4. This has also been communicated with the test group, and also some design and feature requests. I think we have like one of our testers is a pretty good software developer. I've had the pleasure to be in a couple of calls with him, and he really takes it seriously to write like 1A4 reports on design and features, and also like really test the product to the extent of its when you can break it. So really good to have him on board. But some of the points that he's made, we're also just going to like say, okay, this is actually really some excellent points for a design upgrade, even in a later stage. So I think our product manager Alex, who's been designing this from the get-go, he said to me the other day, "Hey, I'm going to get in contact with this guy because," and we feel to thank him for the amount of dedication that he's put into this one. But to cut a long story short, I gave this a big no-go. I replanned the coming weeks, and I requested for the entire software team to be to get like a free week, at least from the at least over the Christmas period. So what are we going to do in the next weeks up until the Wednesday before Christmas? We're going to be testing with the T3. We're going to redo the entire test from beginning to end. It's like a 2-day moderated meetings of 1 hour with all of these testers. And then on the Friday, we're going to like wrap everything up, put everything in into like the tickets that have to be fixed. And then with a bit of luck, if I get the green light from Robin, close shop on the Friday evening, and then start up in the first week again of January after a 10-day break, maybe on the 3rd of January, just to give these guys like 10 days of well-deserved rest and recreation. So that's like basically the path forward when. And so the T3 testing will be occurring like in the final week of this year before the holidays. The outcome of this will define when we start the actual product launch, which is the T4 part of it. But I mean, I think after doing the initial T3, all the rework, and depending on the audit, of course, which we still have to receive on the 13th of December, depending on those things. So we're looking to launching the entire platform in January. So and because of our phased launch, of course, that we've discussed, we're going to be launching not for the entire community. We're going to be launching actually with a group of 50 to 500 users. And with this, we're going to be checking the fit for purpose. So what is this launch going to entail? The launch is going to be the browser-based application, and it's going to go live with the first property of our real estate portfolio, which is a BT mansion, which is actually developed and waiting for the platform. So I have quite a lot of internal pressure also on this project because we have a massive, amazing piece of real estate that's ready to be sold, and the platform has yet to follow. So that's my internal motivation, and our inner core from early backers, so our private and seed backers, and people who have actually invested in the real estate, and we're going to give them the opportunity to actually try the platform first. The reason that we're doing this, of course, is because all of these users and all of these backers, which is you guys, it's in everyone's benefit to actually to get this product perfect. So from every one of you guys, we really want to hear what's your opinion. So I've changed this number around. I had like 5 to 150 first, and I just wanted to do a small select group out of these people to be able to process it better. But I think that that to smooth things off a little bit and to get January started with a bang, I said, okay, why not, after testing twice on T3, why not after that go to the product launch of all of our early backers and investors, and give them the opportunity to invest and to try out our product, because at the end of the day, the product itself is going to generate the need for our token. So the more demand for our token that we have, the more value the token is going to have, of course. So then the product better be damn good. So who better to ask this feedback and information from than the person who are our main stakeholders, which are you watching this AMA right now. So our inner core, we're going to give the exclusive opportunity to invest in also this epic piece of real estate that in the coming weeks we'll be showcasing this. You've seen some stuff online until now, but just after walking through this, you'll see what kind of stuff we've been developing on the real estate front. So with the metrics that you'll be giving back of our customers and our satisfied customers, and we're also going to be launching a Trustpilot, and this is going to be the opening and the key trial. And I wouldn't say it's a test, because it's just a live environment where you can purchase real estate, exactly what we do. But you'll be the first guys to give us your 2 pennies. And our early life support team, our main goal is to gather all of your questions and everything that you might have about the product, and find any bug that we can before launching this into the stratosphere and going really mainstream with this product. So I'm looking forward to this, and I think it's quite a good and healthy step to take a break for a week, and for 10 days. Everyone's really deserved it. So I thought with a week to 1.5 weeks delay on the T3, and another 2 weeks, 10 days on the Christmas holidays, I'm looking for a small month of delay in launching the platform itself. But I think it's the right strategy regarding the amount of feedback we've received from the test user group. So to show you how this is going to how we're going to do this, it's basically the same as every testing cycle that we've been having so far. The only difference is that our actually service support organization and our early life support teams will be more split into 2 groups. Now it's basically 1 bucket, and we're going to give the go to launch to the community, to the rest of the users, which are not the investors, but are on the wait list. And we're talking around 9,000 people that are on the wait list to use the platform. So we're looking at maybe 500 people that are going to be the initial base. We're going to, with you guys, we're going to do a customer satisfaction review. We're going to process again all the service and user feedback, and we're actually going to look at what did it actually do to our backend environment to scale from a team of 15 to 25, 25 test users and 10 internal users to around 500 people. So 1 order of magnitude bigger. Are we able to scale that much? What do we have to do in the back end to make sure that the software isn't running slow? So these are the kind of questions we're going to be asking you at the end for the final review. And we're also going to be asking a large group of you people to give us some support on Trustpilot that we'll be throwing out there in the next couple of weeks. Jaco is going to be running that project internally from a compliance perspective, because I really wanted it to be somebody else than me, so that I can get some really cold hard feedback from our community. on a trust basis. And as I say to the testing team, the more critical you are, the better, regardless of if you like us or not. It's really about, we have to get this right in one go, because any mistake that we make now is going to come back at least 1 million-fold if we go live. So basically, my call to action before I proceed to the AMA is, be the first, and be that person who gives us and takes the time to give us this critical feedback, because now's the time. So we'll be sending out a request to do so. And as much as we did when we started the last phase, and we had like 100 people joining, or 95 people joining to want to do testing, I'm going to be sending out like a request to all of our investors and backers, and people who have joined in with the real estate development projects from also welfare, to be the first actually on our platform, and to help us to push this out there into the environment, and take off with a blast, so we can create a lot of value for eventually also for our native token. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it wasn't a too long technical discussion. I have the tendency to go in too deep sometimes, and I'm going to take the time now to answer any questions you have. And I would say shoot away. Let me know what you think, and tell me what you're thinking about. So I have a question. How will you promote the platform after launch? Well, to answer that question, there are a lot of ways to market your product, but our main strategy is, instead of going from the outside in, which is basically throwing out like paid ads all over the place, is to actually take the reviews of our customers and start with affiliate programs and also recommendations from our current users. So we really want to take the inside out approach on this one, and this is the strategy we've been choosing for at the moment, to focus all our efforts onto using our current community to grow, and as opposed to doing any other kind of advertising. So that's how we're going to be promoting the platform after launch. Okay, do you have any other questions out here? You see? How about the digital real estate agent? Yeah, this is a good question. The digital real estate agent is a program that we're going to be setting up to actually, and it's also the inside out approach, is to educate, because this platform is actually a new technology, of course, is to educate people how to sell real estate on a platform like this. And we're going to be setting up these programs in the beginning of next year, along with the platform launch. At the moment, all of the focus is gone towards finishing and setting up the platform before we actually move on to the digital real estate, because the team that we have at the moment, all hands on deck, busy with with actually launching the platform at the moment, launching the development of the real estate. And so I advised internally, let's finish the platform and then move on to the digital real estate agent program, which is definitely an interesting and great path forward, I think, especially with our with our focus on focusing on internally on how we're doing things and why we're doing things, and then spreading out from there, as opposed to randomly advertising to people and trying to get people on our platform, because at the end of the day, proof of concept is better than a promise in my eyes. You guys are slaying it. Great choices. Thanks. Is there any way how we can join the testing group, or will it stay limited? Well, this is actually an interesting thing. The testing group, we're actually nearly finished with the testing. So I think to join on such a short notice for the T3 testing, it will be a little bit too soon. But Jaco mentioned this, that it would, because he's getting quite a lot of these questions out of the community. Can we still test be in a testing group? I think first of all, I would have to like ask the other 95 people who if we were opening some spots, because they also registered for this. But I think in the T4 phase that we might actually just increase the group to around 50 people. I haven't got like the approval in that, but this is still in the thought process phase to increase the group to around 50 people to get some new eyes on it, because this is actually the final live environment before just going completely live with everybody. Can anybody apply? What do you mean by that question? Can anybody apply? Could you please elaborate a little bit? I have, apart from Hacken audit, are you currently planning to conduct other audits, e.g. a web mobile application backend API? Yeah, well, the Hacken audit was part of a two-stage or actually a three-stage audit, and actually two companies audited this. And the second one was Hacken, and the first one was let me think. You'll have to PM me for the name of it, but I can share the name of this company and also the audit itself. I can't remember the first one, but that's from a smart contract perspective. The other audits that we're conducting are more on a scale of overall security audits, and of course we have like audits from regulatory organizations, financial audits. So there are a large amount of audits that we have to do, and the most relevant ones for my part of the project, at least, are the security audits and the smart contract audits from Hacken. So launch 6 months. Is it possible to invest with Prop? Well, I think you can ask that question in the community itself. I think Robin will answer that one. I don't have such a big view on that, but I think that the Prop is completely sold out, actually, and that we're not. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But at least the private round, I think, is more or less sold out, and so maybe there's a little bit left, but you'd have to check that within the community. It's not my it's not my department. Sadly, I can't answer that question myself. When will the first opportunity to be to invest in the BT Sky Mansion? Well, as I said during the last piece, this whole project has been a puzzle in time to because we're developing real estate. We have like the whole legal the legal side and the company side, and we have the product, the software side. And for me, it was like, okay, get this all together and make sure it happens at the same time. That's my that was my basically mission, or what I've been told to do to do this. And now we're running into a situation where I've said, okay, I need another month for testing, but the BTC Mansion is actually complete, so I think that Robin will be actually pushing the BTC Mansion out there before we actually launch for the public launch of the app. But this is something that's going to be that you're going to have to also ask in the community chat, because this is these choices are just outside of my my responsibility level in this one. So. But I do know that the BTC Sky Mansion is ready, and it's waiting to be it's waiting actually to be put on the platform. What is the supply of tokens? Well, the total supply of tokens, you can just go to our website, download the deck, and check it out. So can anybody apply to the digital real estate agent? Oh yeah, well, the thing is, we actually want to start up this new kind of position and this new goal, because about 1.5 years ago we had this I think Robin held a webinar, and it was just pitching the idea of Propchain. And I think it was like 13 months ago, and a lot of people said, I'm really interested in this product, and I'm really interested in, and I could do this and this to help. So we thought over the last period, hey, why not make a new kind of job, digital real estate agent. And the idea of it, it sounded really good, sounded really great. So we're setting up this program in January, so I'd say keep an eye on that coming out, and anybody can apply to do it, of course. And depending on the amount of applications, we're going to have to make some choices on who we choose. But at the end of the day, we want to make it available to everybody who's backed us and our fans, and we want to move forward. Did the rounds all get sold out now? Well, I think the private round is more or less sold out, and I know that there's still some room in the seed round for strategic investors. That's word on the street. What will the minimum amount be to invest in the BC mansion? Well, basically, on the platform side of things, when we go live, we're looking at pushing our minimum amount to at least 1,000 euros minimum in this one. And this is basically to make sure that our initial investors and get the right amount and of help that they need while using this platform. Say if you were raising around 5 million euros and you had like 100 euros of minimum amount, then you'd have to deal with about 50,000 people instead of dealing with 5,000 people, which from a service perspective is a little bit heavy on the service department. So we decided, hey, let's look into the needs of people investing on this for the first time, and we really want to give the best service to our customers. So said, okay, let's set that as a minimum amount to limit the amount of users that we can have on the platform, so we can give a better service eventually. And from then on, we'll actually be observing the kind of investment profiles and choose the amount based on more of a data-driven choice rather than an estimation and a speculation. What is my exact responsibility in the company? Yeah, that's a good question. Well, my responsibility in this company from a personal level is to basically make sure that our internal processes and our internal team is aligned so we can deliver a product. Basically, as a chief operating officer, anything that's operational within the company, like the project, finance department, legal, the day-to-day tasks, the team, the service organization, the software, the CRM, and the tools that we use, they have to be up to spec. And basically, when it comes to making the choices of which kind of teams do we need and what kind of software do we need to achieve this, that's my role in the company. I think a secondary role is also to make sure that from an operational point of view, that the Robin has enough time to think about the strategic and the tactical, and the translation to tactical. And I think my role in this is the translation from tactical to operational objectives. So it's more or less the making sure that the day-to-day of the company actually happens, and the tactical goals on a quarterly basis are translated into projects and campaigns, etc. Can one reinvest less than 1,000 euros? Well, the idea was that the initial investment would be 1,000 euros, and that the reinvestment could be lower than that. To be 100% honest, I haven't, I can't give you the answer right now, but I think from what I've heard is that the reinvestment is going to be less than €1,000. It's basically the initial investment that we're talking about when it's €1,000 on the property. So that's that. Is there some time engagement? I mean, when you invest in one of the real estate, can I retire my money in like 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year? But let me get it clear from an investment perspective. If you when you invest in real estate, our sweet spot of investing, our advice at least, is to invest around 5 years, right? We wanted to make this as liquid as possible, of course, and so we've set up also the peer-to-peer marketplace where you can actually sell your pot, and depending on the speed that it gets sold, and depending on the price that you put it up for, people can actually just buy your piece of real estate on a B2B market. So theoretically speaking, it's an extremely liquid endeavor. But if you really want to make money on this, for example, my son has just been born. He's like 4 months old, and I'm just thinking, hey, if I put down like 5,000 in the BT mansion right now and just invest around 250 or something every month for the next 21 years, then by the time he's like 21, he can buy his own BT mansion. Well, no, then he can at least buy a decent down payment for a house when he's like 21. So we're like going for really long-term and stable investments, and we're also choosing our real estate and our investment profiles simply for that. I mean, we're still talking about the real estate sector here, and I mean, within a time frame of a year, a lot can happen, but within a time frame of 5 years, in overall real estate investments, they go up. I mean, given inflation rate, I mean, even if the real estate investment doesn't go up, looking at inflation versus real estate, if it would stay neutral, it would still be going up. So I think to answer your question, I mean, if you want to retire your money and get it all out, it's possible, and there's also possibilities to liquidate it straight away. But the question is, why would you do that? I mean, the idea is to on a long term grow wealth, and that's what Propchain is all about. It's growing wealth for our community and for our followers, and creating products to make this possible. So the short answer is yes, and the long answer is more like, why would you want to? Great and clear webinar. I'm looking forward to the launch. Can you tell me how much rent the BC mansion collects in a year? I'm not exactly 100% sure about this, but there is a manifesto coming out the next week, and you can read this out in the manifesto, in the actual. I'm more focused on how to translate that piece of data into the smart contract rather than the rent itself. But so I would just throw this question into the Telegram channel. It's a good question, thanks. And I'm sure Robin or one of the other guys that are busy with the actual exploitation of the BT mansion can give you a clear answer really fast. Are you guys planning to interfere in the liquidity part of the P2P marketplace? What do you mean with interfere? Then I can maybe give you an answer. I mean, the whole idea actually of a smart contract is that we cannot interfere in the liquidity part. But I just really need to have this question that you have over there. Interesting question, but I don't understand it completely. So can you please repeat that one in a more clear way? Is there an automatic reinvest option that reinvests your rent money? Well, this is actually a really good question, because from a compound interest kind of perspective, and that's the kind of investment that I'm looking for my kid, for example, is that I'd like to the rent and the money that's earned on exploitation, I would like to be reinvested directly into new real estate. This is something that is not going to be in the first release, but it's something, of course, we're going to be advising to do. And I think before we go into that, that next layer of complexity, we have to get the first layer completely straight. But this is definitely a serious feature request that we have for the first release, and for after the first release, and when that's running successfully. If I buy real estate in Dubai, the BT Sky Mansion, and I'm on vacation there, can I ring the doorbell there if I need to go to the toilet, or does it not go that far? Well, I think that, if you have like a piece of real estate over here in the Netherlands that you're renting out to people and a family, then it would also be weird as the landlord to go around and ask them to use their toilet, and I think if you're heading to the BT Sky Mansion, which is kind of prime location, downtown Dubai, then I don't think you're going to get past the foyer. But if you say to the guys that you own part of it, maybe they'll let you go to the toilet down in the reception. But I doubt that you could go over there to use the toilet. Having said that, there's been some internal rumors, so to speak, that when we do the actual unveiling and launch party of the BT mansion, we're going to be setting out some invites to our larger investors that have been with us from the beginning. But that's also still not for me clear, but this is something I've heard around the coffee table. So that's that one. But a funny question, but maybe for a cocktail, but not for the toilet, I would say. Will the Propchain debit card be available from the start? No, this is something that's we're creating like tools and platforms to manage and to grow and manage wealth, and also to be able to spend that wealth. And the debit card itself is in the pipeline, but it is in the next phase of features that we have out there. And the reason why is because we want to get this first layer like completely set before we had to make a choice of which kind of features we bring out at what time. So this is basically the strategy. But that it's going to be there is a definite thing on our roadmap. And this is also like, I think let's acquire and build some wealth, and then we can spend it using the debit card. I think that's also the way we're going to be doing this. So do we have any more questions on that? I have like 27 questions in here. Have I missed anything over here? Yeah, 28. Will there be a maximum amount someone can own? Well, this is kind of a tricky question because it also depends on on which are you talking about per property or in general, in total? And there's legislation per country within Europe about the amount that the total amount that can be invested. And this is like one part of the puzzle we've been having to deal with from a legislation point of view. It's also like depending on where the real estate is, but also depending on where you're from, it's going to have an effect on the amount that you can own. This is like one of the big this is one of the big questions that our legal team and Robin has been and Alex have been dealing with solving over the past year. This is the major complexity. So I would say throw something into our community channel, that question, and one of the people that can answer this in a more specific manner will be better. But I think the answer is yes, there will be a maximum amount per per investment per property. I think it's going to be I'm not sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone's in our team at the moment that can correct me, I think it would be 10% of the property, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So please just check it with Robin or Alex. What about DeFi staking of Prop? Well, the whole idea of the platform is basically to offer a platform where we can offer really great real estate and have long-term investors going in there. And the staking of the prop will have an influence on the transaction amounts that you're going to have to pay on the platform, the fees, and it's going to have like an effect on the card and the debit card that you're going to be having and the withdrawal amount. So, and the actual tier that you're in. So, for example, if you stake a certain amount of Propchain, of a prop token, then you're going to be benefiting from lower transaction fees on the platform itself, and also like on a long term, getting more return on investment and better, like a higher tier level when it comes to the services and the SLAs that we offer on the platform. So yes, and I think this is something that's going to be communicated just before launch. Yeah, so I hope I answered your question with that one. I really need some merchandise. Yeah, that's true. Me too. I was actually wanting to wear the Propchain shirt today. A little bird has told me that there's going to be some nice new house style improvements, and I've seen some really cool stuff coming by. So I'm really looking forward to that on the merchandise too. What's the locking time of staking tokens? It's a good question, and I would like to refer to the deck or just ask it in the community, and then Robin can answer, or during the next AMA that he'll give, because my main expertise, my main focus has been on the project itself and making sure everything gets sorted. And as I said, translating the tactical side to the operational side. And this is more of a strategic tactical question that you can surely ping and ask Robin for. So it's 32 questions. I'm going to give a little bit of time if anyone has any last questions to ask. Then when is the next AMA? That's a good question. Well, basically, Robin is going to give like a end of year presentation, and I don't know exactly if it's going to be in the form of an AMA or in the form of a webinar or recording. And the next AMA regarding the testers is so for the closed user group testing is just before we start with the final T3 part. So that's the internal group, and I will be giving an AMA in the first week of January to give an update on the final results of the testing, and moving forward to launching the platform and giving the exact dates, etc. As soon as I have that kind of information, that I can put that down. So I hope that answers your question. All right. So thanks for your time, Ian. Well, thanks for everyone's time, and it was nice talking to everybody again, and I hope that it was a clear AMA. As I said, if you feel like asking any personal questions, then you can just always add me to LinkedIn, and this is going to be recorded and put on our YouTube channel. And if you want to see it back or share it, then feel free to do so. So have a nice evening, everybody. And yeah, and I'll see you the next time.